Hey Railbirds, Kevin here. All right, we have more 9-ball action for you guys from the 2023 Derby City Classic. This is round 5, John Mora versus Greg Hogue. John Mora has 0 losses so far. Greg Hogue, he does have 1 loss, so if he loses, he's out. I'm your host, Kevin Ross. I am being joined by Mark White. How you doing, Mark? Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning. Welcome. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to this one. I've got an interest really in this game. John Mora, consider him a bit of a friend, and also Greg Hogue, the character.
All right, yeah, John from Canada, Greg from U.S., Greg's from Oklahoma, I believe.
That's right.
So a little bit of discrepancy here in Fargo rate, so maybe see if Greg can give him a run for his money.
Yeah, that percentage number at the bottom of the screen, 9%, that's the chance that Greg Hogue is given. And watch out for Greg Hogue's technique. He's got a very unique, what do you call it, pre-shot routine.
Huh? Right.
Tight leg.
Yeah, in case you guys aren't familiar with the players, that is John. That was John Mora on the right, the guy who won the lag. That's John. John at the table now racking. So we are playing some Derby City rules, a 9-ball. So this is going to be rack your own. The break is the winner's option, which is usually winner break, not always, but usually. Now we're playing with the 9-ball racks on the spot. The rest of the rack must be random, except for the 2-ball. The 2-ball must not be at the back of the rack. You can put it anywhere you want, just not at the front or in the middle or the back. That leaves, what, six other places you can put it, so mostly random. Jump cues are not allowed. You may jump the ball, but you must use your full playing cue. You can't even use your break cue. It has to be your playing cue. And as always, 3-foul rule is in effect.
Question.
Yes.
What about if you play with your break cue all the time? Are you allowed to jump with it then?
Well, then that is your playing. If you're playing with your break cue, that's your playing cue. So, yep, you can jump with it. But are you really playing with your break cue, or are you just breaking with your playing cue?
Aha. Here we go then. First break, and you'll see John, very interestingly, still breaks right-handed, but he made the switch, of course, to left-hand because of an injury.
Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, we are breaking from break box. And during the 9-ball event, the template rack, the Accu rack, is mandatory.
I was actually playing with one of the Accu racks yesterday in a tournament. I don't know whether you've been following me on Facebook or not, Kevin, but
I do
I've
occasionally.
Been winning a few tournaments.
Well, that's good. Yeah, these last couple of weeks I've been kind of busy with my own tournament going on, so I haven't been able to follow really anybody on Facebook. But congratulations! I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I've won 3 and had 1 runner-up.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Your Fargo rate's going to be going up.
Well, it has gone up. My handicap, as it's called here, goes up. They don't use the Fargo rate, but
right.
It is a handicap system. I've gone up 1 point anyway. I'm happy about that. Enough about me. John Mora's got a problem here. Where does he push to?
One thing you could do is you could call a push out, but play the combination on the 1, so that then he has to look at the 3-ball. That's a possibility.
That's a good call, that. I think he's thinking about it. John Mora from Toronto. Often see him playing in Jim White's place, actually, the corner bank. That's his local pool room. And his father was once Canadian snooker champion and quarter-finalist in a World Snooker Championship. Mario Mora, John's dad.
Wow,
He's going for this.
That's pretty cool. He is. Didn't like the push outs. He says, that's okay, I'll just kick it in. Let's put some speed on it. Oh, and he did put some speed on it.
Oh, he's made it, but inadvertently.
Well, he may have tied up that 7. He may have got a little bit lucky there.
So our first look at Greg Hogue. There was rumours. Well, actually, he was one match away from qualifying for the Mosconi Cup team last year. He lost out to Oscar Dominguez, of course, but had he have beaten Mark Bijsterbosch in the US Open, he would have automatically been in the Mosconi Cup team for the US last year. He just lost out.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Oh, a little bit more. You could have broken out that 7. I don't know that the 7 needs to be broken out. Maybe it goes.
Well, we'll soon find out the way he plays this. I'm guessing it does.
He doesn't act like he's too concerned about it. So it must go. And given the way he's played position, it must go.
Yeah, there's few players that work as hard as this man does. Has his own training centre called Red Door Den Training Centre. Red Door Den Training Centre. That's my Greg Hogue impression.
Yeah, I remember watching a challenge match there one time between is it Johnny Archer and Greg Hogue? I think so.
I know he had Efren at the Red Door Den Training Centre.
Nice. And that was a nice run out with that ball in hand. Strikes first, 1-0. Race to 9.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a statement there from Greg Hogue. Just racking the balls now. There you can see the RDD badge on his back, Red Door Den.
Yeah, and that statement is, leave me a shot and I'm going to run out.
Yeah, and he had a couple of difficult, tricky little shots there. Even that 9 ball wasn't, it wasn't a gimme. It was missable, but he knocked it in beautifully. So 1-0 up. Breaking up from the break box, as Kevin mentioned earlier on, and that's in between the first and the third diamonds on the table. Anywhere within that box you can break. Most players tend to break as near to the edge of the diamond as they can. There's the wing ball inside. Decent break, Kevin.
Yeah, unfortunately, no pocket for that 2 ball.
Yeah, always nice, though, to have control of the table. He's got a good look at it, and that's really all you can, hope for. Make a ball, get a look at the lowest ball on, it gives you control.
I think he's let John see this, or at least part of it.
Well, Greg Hogue having to do a bit of jiggery pokery with the rack. Oh, it's disappeared.
All right, with the assist by John Mora. How many pool players does it take to remove an AccuRack? Well, in this case, 2.
I've seen as many as 4 do it.
Yeah, I don't understand why everyone has to gather around at the table when it's time to remove the AccuRack. That is pretty funny when I see a bunch of people start gathering around.
Yeah, Jeremy Jones actually had a very good idea. He said, when it's really, really difficult, just get a pair of scissors and cut it. I mean, in some, in the rare occasions when it's very, very, very difficult to remove the Accurac, they are given. That's one of our sponsors, Outsville, of course, who make the Accurac, the great Chris Renfro. Good hit there from Greg Hogue, but no reward. He's left a nice shot for the left-hander now. This is perfect. This is my territory, Kevin. Left-hander.
Well, the saving grace might be that 6-7 that he's tied up a little bit. John's probably going to have to play a combination. Nobody likes playing combinations, especially this far away from the pocket.
Might nudge it here. Oh, I thought he might just nudge it, not taking the risk.
Now he's nudging it.
There you go. Problem solved.
Yep, I think it nudged just enough.
Yeah, he might have created another one here though. Needs a good shot here to get on the 6. Very, very straight shooter, John Mora.
Nice stroke. Perfect.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier how hard Greg Hogue works. Put John Mora on that list as well, because I remember being at a tournament and I had to go and take the balls away to be cleaned, and he carried on playing. I've actually got a video of it. He actually carried on playing with his cue on top of the rail, Kevin, making sure he was queuing straight between the wood and the cloth part on the rail, seeing if he was queuing straight. And he'd do that for about half an hour. Incredible.
Wow, half an hour.
Yeah,
that's
almost
some dedication.
Obsession. Yeah, or obsession.
Yeah, I would definitely lose interest to boredom after a minute or two. There's no way I could do it for a half hour. But that's why I'm not a professional pool player.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. It's only when you put balls on the table that I fail. So this 9 ball then to square things up.
Square things up he does. One apiece. Race to 9.
Putting his point up on the beads above the table.
So in the last couple of matches we commentated on, I mentioned that the break is winner's option. Not all, people will usually opt to break. They won't usually opt to let their opponent break. But there is one time that I saw that the person did let their opponent break. That was Corey Dool versus Joshua Filler. And we have that match right here on our channel. Myself and Sky Woodward were commentating that match. And both myself and Sky, we were just kind of scratching our heads like, why in the world is he passing this break to Joshua Filler? Of all people, I'm not giving Joshua Filler the break, that's for sure. Joshua was breaking pretty good that match too. And of course, he makes the 9 on the break when he passes the break to him. So he didn't do that again. He only gave it to him that one time.
I can't believe you've been unfaithful to me with Sky Woodward of all people.
That was 2020. I didn't even know you yet, Mark.
Ah, okay. I thought you meant recently. I feel much better, thank you.
Yeah, that was at the last Derby City that we did matches at. So yeah, that was Corey Deuel versus Joshua Filler at in the 2020 Derby City.
Go check it out. Lots of action from Railbirds.
And in 2021, they didn't have a Derby City. 2022, we didn't go for various reasons. And then 2023, we're back.
John Mora handing back the push. Just explain the push very quickly for you, for those of you new to the game of 9-ball. If after the break you don't like the shot, you can play what's called a push out. You don't have to hit a rail, you can hit any ball. The only thing you can't do is put the cue ball in the pocket. However, there's a caveat attached to that. If your opponent comes to the table and doesn't like what you've left from the push out, he can put you back in, and we just saw that from John Mora.
Yeah, the push out it's such a tough spot to be in, because you have to leave it tough enough where your opponent doesn't like it, but not so tough they're going to give it back to you, where now you're in a bit of trouble. I never know what to do.
Yeah, I think Greg played a pretty good shot there. He hasn't left. Normally you might say the cross bank is on, but because of that 4-ball being where it is, it's made this shot a little bit awkward for John Mora. That's why he's having a long think about it.
Yeah, I don't know if he can 3-rail the one out of there, leave the cue ball behind the 5. I'm not sure. That one ball's probably going to have to dodge some traffic to make that happen.
Well, good call.
Actually, he got it behind the 4, so that works out just as well. He's tied up to 4 with the 6. He's tied up to 2 with the 8. He's made all kinds of clusters.
I don't think he could have wished for anything more there, John Mora.
Well, that safety does earn him ball in hand. Now, with all these clusters, man, I'd be so tempted to take a swing at that 9. But like I said, that's why I'm not a professional pool player, because I do silly things like that.
Yeah, he's got a nice shot on here though. Ball in hand, can put the cue ball anywhere, and he can try and dislodge that 2-8 here. And the other good thing is, well, that's about it actually.
Yeah, that list of good things was pretty short.
Yeah, he could get back down this end of the table to play a safe off the 4 if he makes the 1, 2, 3. But a bit of work to do before that. Oh, that's unfortunate. And this is going to be a stretch for John. John Mora has actually represented Canada in the World Cup of Pool, that's the doubles, with Alex Pagulayan, Jason Klatt. 7 occasions, didn't realise that little fact.
Wow, I didn't realize that either.
I'm a mine of useless information. 2011, 2012, 2015, 2013, 14, 17 and 19 with Alex Pagulayan, and the previous ones with Jason Klatt, a great 8-ball player. Jason Klatt, had the pleasure of commentating on him actually in Jim White's room when your good pal Sky Woodward was there as well. Did you hear that little dig there I had at you? I can't let it go, Kevin. So back to the game then. Greg, rail first. Oh, I thought he had a little bit of a a rubber to green. Well, he has, because he's kind of tied the 3 up a little bit.
Yeah, if he could go for the 2, the 3, and then play a safe on the 4. I mean, another option could be to make the 2 3 rail the 3 so that the 3 ends up near the 4 for a possible breakout shot, leaving the cue ball behind the 9.
Oh, how unlucky was that? Yeah, normally you'd expect him to take on the bank here, but with the 9 ball where it is, I'm not sure that that's possible, especially, taking into account where that 4 ball's tied up.
Yeah, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of future in that shot. Looks like he's just thinning off the right side.
Yeah, behind the 8.
And I think he got there. Nice shot.
Yeah, John Mora, nicknamed Mr. Smooth. And that was a lovely smooth shot there. And at the table now, he's Greg Spanky Hogue. What a name that is, Spanky.
Oh, don't break it up. Fell right into John's trap. But even with ball in hand, does he have a pocket for this 3? Doesn't look like it. He's playing safe again.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the 3 foul rule, and he's going for number 2 here. Well, not brilliant. Could have played. He's left the 1 rail escape here, I think. Never easy though when you're so close to the rail to judge the angle that it's going to come out at. It's normally a lot wider, and he's played it very well. And look at this for a shot. Look at this for a shot.
And he's going to get a safety back right out of it.
Yeah, good shot, Greg Hogue. Greg, 33 years old. Been playing since he was 11.
And Greg might have got a little unfortunate because I think that 3 might be dead in the corner off the 8.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here though. Could scratch off this 3 if he hits it, bad. Oh, unlucky. What an effort that was, as you called, Kevin. Got very, very close to it, didn't he?
All right, now, good opportunity for Greg to extend his lead again. Everything's open now. Yeah, caught that a little full. He's okay, though. Old people like me like to be nice and close to the ball, but, Greg, he's only 33. He don't mind being, a little bit farther away.
Greg was actually raised by his grandparents, and his grandmother was actually a car saleswoman, and she used to drive 110 miles to work every day.
Wow.
And she did it for so long that the dealership owner actually bought them a house in Tulsa where the car dealership was, so that she didn't have to travel so far. How nice is that little story?
Wow, I've never had an employer just buy me a house so that I could be closer to work. Oh, no.
Oh, Greg. Well, he wasn't very close to his work there, unfortunately. He missed it. That was one of those typical examples, I think, of taking your eye off the pot. And too
Yeah,
much concentration on the cue ball.
I think so.
This is interesting. Look, switched again to right-handed to play the swerve shot, the masse.
Yeah, I think he breaks right-handed too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, John, interesting character. He's won a lot of tournaments playing right-handed, and then he's gone and won a bunch of tournaments playing left-handed. Don't know of too many people that can do that. Well, I don't know of anybody that can do that.
Just wants to clean the cue ball. Good trust between players.
Oh, look, I can see
this six, if he can see the six now, though, Kevin, I'm going to have to start asking some questions.
That's exactly where I was going with that too.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
You beat me to it.
You got to be quick, mate. You got to be quick.
I do. Gotta be quicker than that. It's like, oh, look, I can see the six. I was mistaken. I thought I was hooked. I guess I wasn't.
Yeah, this looks like the shot for me. I'm surprised he's taking it off the side rail. I think the long rail is better here. Sorry, the short rail and then back down this way. You know, the long route, I mean.
Yeah, this looks like the obvious choice, but it seems like if you try to go for the swerve hit, you could hit it too full and follow it in. Of course, kicking you could also, but
Wow.
Oh, wow. Was not expecting him to miss that.
I think he was playing it so softly because he didn't want the cue ball travelling too far. Wanted to leave the 7 into the side. He's ended up missing it. Well, seems like a long while ago now that Greg Hogue put that 6 ball there. Well, he's now gonna make it.
Yeah, when Greg missed that 6, he was probably thinking he was not getting to the table again that game, but not only is he come to the table, he's come to the table with ball in hand.
Yeah, just come the wrong side of this 7 though, so he's going to have to draw. Yeah, and there you go, once again. Eye off the ball, not a real focus on the shot.
Definitely not the kind of shot I would expect someone of a near 700 Fargo rate, Mosconi Cup contender, not the kind of shot I would expect him to miss. Yeah, 2 shots in a row.
Yeah, and that all stemmed from playing a little bit careless with ball in hand on that 6. Should have left himself the proper angle just to roll the 7 in and get up for the 8, but came the wrong side of it. Maybe trying to steal a little bit of angle as well. And that's not a very good shot from John Mora either. So both players are just losing the plot slightly here.
All right, pretty easy safety here for Greg. Two rails right in behind that 8.
He's got to be accurate though.
Oh, he's overhit it.
Yeah, very touchy little shots those, especially after you've just played a couple of bad shots, Kevin.
Sure.
Confidence is a bit low at the moment. There's Margaret Fefilova-Steyer look on the next table.
Yep.
Married to Moscone Cup player Tyler Steyer, of course. It's quite a formidable Jack and Jill Scotch doubles partnership, Kevin, isn't it?
Yeah, between them and the fillers, yeah, those are some good Scotch doubles teams.
Yeah, how many more can you name?
The Oceans.
Yeah, brother and sister, of course. I've got one that you'll never get. Roman and Yvonne Heibler.
That was actually going to be my next guess. I'm sorry, who?
So John,
those names are not familiar to me.
Yeah, that Yvonne Ullmann Heibler is a pro from the women's circuit from Munich in Germany, and she married Czech player Roman Heibler. So they're quite a good team as well. Then you've got Inna Kaplan, her husband, whose name escapes me right now, but I'm sorry. I know it's Kaplan.
All right, John Mora with the break. Breaking right-handed, as we mentioned earlier.
Well, the one ball didn't go in the side, but the cue ball did, along with another ball. Didn't quite see which one it was.
Looks like the 8-ball. Yeah, 8-ball.
Yeah.
Ball in hand for Greg. Pretty open layout here. 1 to the 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just got to stay in line. And should be a nice little confidence booster if he can run these out.
Greg playing with his Shane Van Boning Q-Tech cue. John Mora, Predator sponsored, playing with his Revo. Other cues are available, of course. What are you playing with these days, Kevin?
Well, I haven't really picked up a cue stick in a few years, but the last time I did play, I was playing with a Kevin Ross custom cue.
A Kevin Ross?
Yeah, I made it.
Really?
Really, really.
Your talents are endless. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my wife Sherry plays with a cue I made also.
I was just going to say, is it a one-off or is there a production line of them?
Definitely not a production line. No, I made.
How long did it take you? How long did it take to make a cue?
A few months. I made about half a dozen cues and decided, yeah, this is too much work for not enough money. Let's try a different hobby.
Yeah, I felt that with commentating. Just joking, of course.
So
I would do this for minimum wage.
Okay, I'm holding you to that. So I
meant. Sorry, I just want to finish my sentence. I meant minimum wage in Dubai.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to interrupt you.
So Greg has managed to pick his way through this rack, no problem. That should be a nice little confidence booster. Ties it up to a piece. Race to 9.
Yeah, you mentioned when he came to the table that it was a pretty straightforward run out, but still one that, you know, you've got to make, and it did. and as you say, should be a nice little confidence booster. You know, and he's 2-2.
Yeah, that chance of win percentage has started to creep up a little bit.
Table 31, Jay Ruther and Alex Montpellier.
Yeah, a lot of the game
Alex and Jay Ruther.
is in the head, of course, and I've recently, I actually had the pleasure of interviewing very recently a sports psychologist, and I have to be honest and say that my big problem has been my temperament, let's say, at the table, and my ability to cope with certain situations. But after having some time with this sports psychologist, his name is James Lake. He's from England, but he actually lives in Beijing in China, and he works with a lot of snooker players mainly, but also pool players. And the proof of the pudding, as they say, is in the eating. And since I've been talking to James Lake, I've actually won 3 tournaments and been runner-up in another. So it just shows you how much of this game is in the head.
Well, you say it's because of James Lake. I say it's because you've been doing commentary on Railbirds and learning to pick these racks apart by doing the commentary. I think that's what's helped your tournament game. So I think I deserve a cut of your tournament winnings.
Well, yeah, I won't disagree with that either. I mean, no, I have. I mean, I've learnt a lot of strategy since I've been commentating on pool, but I think it's more to do with the Kevin Ross cue that somebody just recently sold me. So back to the serious business. We are 2-2 in this race to 9 Derby City Classic 2023 5th round match.
Well, I will say those Kevin Ross cues, they are rare, so hold on to it because there aren't very many of those out there.
Strange.
Was he playing that
shot
two
there.
was he trying to play it in the side off the 3 maybe? I'm not sure what he was going
Maybe
at.
he was. Maybe, but he jumped up on it, whatever shot he played. So a little bit. He's had a bit of a jelly roll there, as they say. You've got the hook behind the 4 and the 9.
Yeah, the banks may not be open today, but the bakery was.
Table 12, Sullivan Clark and Efren Reyes. Efren Reyes, Sullivan Clark.
All right, good hit, but that will leave a shot for Greg.
Yeah, you might have just heard over the public announcement there mentioning the name Efren Reyes. And there's some.
That name rings a bell.
Efren is here.
I think I've heard of him. Is he one of the new young up-and-comers?
Yeah, his real name is Cesar Morales, the magician.
All right, that
Played
looks
that
like
with a lot of right-hand English there, just to hold the cue ball, checked it off the rail.
nice speed, perfectly straight in on this 3 to the side, roll forward for the 4, and he's right back in line.
Yeah, Greg has changed his pre-shot routine slightly. I mentioned how he had this unique pre-shot routine. First time I ever commentated on him was during COVID, actually, when there was a online ghost challenge, if you remember those. And
The good old days.
yeah, he used to do this little step thing, like he was doing a little dance from side to side before he got down, but seems to have got that out of his system. Been working very hard on his technique, Greg Hogue. Makes a mean pizza as well, I can tell you.
Ooh, now you're talking my kind of language. I like me a good pizza.
Yeah, my favourite food in the world, I think, apart from Thai curry. Now then, question for you, Kevin. There he's. Look, there he goes with his sidestep.
Yep,
You
there
see,
he
look,
goes.
it's almost
Yep.
like he heard me.
Like he's trying to settle in or something.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Italians go
Absolutely not.
Italians go crazy if you put pineapple on the pizza.
Not just Italians. And I assume you mean
Mamma
crazy. I
mia.
assume you mean crazy, not in the good way. Crazy in the bad way.
Yeah. There he goes, getting himself online. Reminds me of a golfer, you know, just settling on the shot before they
Oh, right.
when they're getting
Yeah.
ready, you know.
I wonder if he also golfs. I wonder if that's where he picked that up from.
Josh Purble and Chad Fairchild. Chad Fairchild and
Wait.
Josh Purble, table 29.
So far, Greg Hogue holding his own against John Mora, and then some. 3-2, race to 9.
Yeah, he's just almost doubled his percentage chance of winning that Fargo Rate have given him.
Table 22, Scholar Woodward and Raymond Linares. Raymond and Scholar, table 22.
Raymond Linares, I think I just heard there, against Sky Woodward. Raymond, of course, from Florida. Great guy, very interesting guy.
I don't know him.
He's got the best beard in the game, he has.
Oh,
I actually think he's got some device hidden in it where he can make sure that the cue runs straight. I reckon he's hiding something there.
alright. So what are we doing here? A nice gentle billiard off the 1 into the 6. Play position for the 1 in the corner next. Or 1-6 combination, run the cue ball around.
I think I prefer the billiard, to be honest, but
I think I do too. I think it's easier to control where the 1 ball goes.
yeah, I'm not sure how soft he can hit this though. Does it pass the... Is it the 4?
That's the 7, and I think it does.
There's your answer.
He's overrolled it slightly. He's on the wrong side of the 2. It's never easy.
Yeah, you've just doubled the amount of work that you've got to do now to get to the next ball. Even if he's straight on this, it would be perfect, but unfortunately, as you mentioned, he's the wrong side of this 2 ball. So a bit of work to do. Draw it past the side pocket, Kenny. For the 4 into the same... Well, that's a 7, isn't it? I beg your pardon. That's a decent shot, Kevin.
Yeah, that's a very nice shot. Just pop off the rail a little bit. I think that 7 passes the 8, maybe? I don't know. That's pretty tight.
Oh, his hand came up off the table there. A little bit of movement. I mentioned his little unique pre-shot routine where he does a little step, one to the left, one to the right. It's almost like he's doing the hokey pokey. The hokey pokey. You put your left leg in, your left leg out, in, out, shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn around and then you hopefully run out. Hey!
Okay, 7 to the left corner. Problem solved.
Yeah, this is one of those little angles where you don't often play it because if the 8 wasn't there and you was left with this position, you'd still be playing the 7 into the top right. So it's not a real one that you play too often, but he's managed it fine.
That's a
One
nice
of those,
shot.
you know, into a blind pocket.
Table 31. Alex Montpellier, table 31.
That looks
Nicely
perfect.
played. Yeah, I always like using the second route, and then you're coming into the line of the 9.
And just like that, Robert's your father's brother, Greg Hogue, 4-2, race to 9.
Yeah, for the first time, we've got a 2-rack lead. And it goes to the underdog. 698 Fargo against 792.
We always love a
Right
good
now.
underdog story.
Yeah, we love an underdog, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Except when Shane Van Boning's playing, I've noticed with you guys across the pond. You always want Shane to win, the great SVB. There'll be some matches of his as well on Railbirds TV. Go to YouTube, or you're already on it if you're watching this, of course. But you can give us a like and subscribe if you don't mind. Always helps us to bring you the free pull. Cue the caption. I can see Kevin scrambling for it. There it is. Just click the bell as well, and that will notify you every time we post something new. And there's lots going on at the moment on Railbirds. We're adding games almost daily.
Now that's slow down, 2-ball. I thought it was going to line up perfectly, but that 2-ball just kind of kept rolling a little bit there.
Yeah, I think he's got to go at this one though. Ball's in the open. Okay, not easy to get to the 3, but could come round 3 rails, possibly 4 for the 3 into the same pocket. Well, he's tried to hold it off 2, and that's why he's missed it thick. Trying to play a shot that wasn't really on Kevin.
Tried to force it.
Yeah, just, you know, he's trying to drag it in and play it a little bit thicker. It wasn't easy, of course, the other way that I suggested, but you got more chance of making the shot. And now he's left a nice, easy starter for John Mora. 2 racks behind. I think he needs to win this one, John Mora. Now, big shot coming up. Does he go forward? Does he go for the draw? We'll soon know. Draw shot it is. Low right on the cue ball, you can see. Hit that side rail, maybe. Oh, he did go forward.
That's nice.
Beautifully played. Thought he was aiming low there.
Yeah, put a really nice stroke on that. Nice clean pot to the ball.
Living up to his nickname, Mr. Smooth. Smooth operator. You remember Sade from the 90s? You're not old
Of
enough,
course.
are you?
Oh, of course. Yep, I remember that song. Just going to stop this, shoot the 5 up table, or is he going to draw back for the 5 in the side? Draw back for the 5 in the side. Oh, he's going to get nice and close to it.
High left. There you see, checking the cue ball back, holding it nicely for the 7. I mentioned Sade just then, Kevin.
Yep.
They say that almost every wine bar in the world had that album, Great Wine Bar album, and they reckon that's how she made all her money, and actually comes from my hometown, believe it or not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I've got another little story about her that I can tell you as well. No, I didn't date her.
All right, John, closing up that gap. Trails by 1. Yeah, I think I remember reading she was a model before turning singer.
Yeah, she was. She was a very, very pretty young lady from a place called Clacton-on-Sea in Essex, southeast England. And she needed her house decorated, and a guy I know, I wouldn't call him a friend, but we used to go to the same school and stuff, and he went round to price up the job. They fell in love. He left his wife and married Sade. They are. What about that for a story?
Are they still together?
I believe they are, yes.
Oh, so it has a happy ending.
Yeah. He must have been a smooth operator as well. Back to the pool. John Mora breaking up.
Try break.
Yeah, I'd just like to add the word allegedly to that last statement I made, just in case it's not true, but I know it to be true, so sue me.
All of the statements that Mark makes are his own opinion and do not necessarily reflect those of Railbirds Productions or any of its subsidiaries.
Look at that for a picture, Kevin. You see where he's just placed that rack? Look, I don't know what's
The
happening
diamond
in my
within
mind today.
the
But
diamond within the diamond there.
exactly, we're starting to think alike and finish each other's sentences. What about that? Oh, that's a long way off.
Well, sorry, but yeah, sorry, we're not getting married. I'm already married. Sorry.
Yeah, well, you know Sade. Actually, you are married to Shari, though.
That is correct.
Your love is king.
I was surprised he was going that route and not one rail up. That really surprised me. I went that way instead of, inside one rail up.
Yeah, he played it the way I would have played it, though. Maybe it's a left-handed thing, a way of thinking. I always like going low left on them, swinging them around the angles, but as you see, that's the danger. If you're slightly off, I think he overhit it a bit as well, actually, which maybe altered the angle slightly.
No, ball in hand for Greg. Good chance for him to regain that 2-game lead. And with no real problem balls out here, I think that's pretty high probability.
He had a good chance to draw level there, John Mora, but a poor shot on the 2 ball, scratched in the side, and we saw back in rack number 1, you don't want to leave Greg Hogue ball in hand because he'll finish the table. Got to be careful though. 7-8 is the shot. Doesn't want to be straight, that's nice. 2 rails here. Cue ball coming down towards the 8 ball off the 2nd rail to restore his 2-rack lead again. Good stuff from Spanky.
A little bit of inside English on that to straighten up that cue ball. Ended up perfect on this 8.
This will do his confidence the world of good. He must have thought he'd lost that last rack. No, sorry, this rack.
Yeah, regains that 2-game lead. 5-3. Race to 9.
It's looking a little bit worrying, I think, for the Canadian.
Wow, Fargerate is such a pessimist. He's got a 2-game lead, and Fargerate still only puts him at 37% to win.
Yeah, he needs 4 more. John needs 6, of course. Winner breaks. Chance to go 3 up. Only need 3. Don't forget to put your points up, Gregory. We got your back, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, those points are hard to come by. Don't let one get away because you forgot to mark it. All right, he's made a ball. No look at the 1. All right, if you were to push out, where would you push out to? Somewhere near that right side rail?
I'd be moving that Accurac out the way, and I'd leave a dead straight shot on the rail on the 1 ball, so that he can't get to the 3. He's going to leave a bank here or something though, or an easy safety. Well, not a bad shot, I guess.
I don't think the safety from here is easy.
No, it isn't. I thought he was playing it harder than that. Decent shot. Apologies to Mr. Hogue.
In fact, he's left it so tough he might pass it back. And he has passed it back.
Well, let's see what Greg had in mind then. Yeah.
He's probably like, I wasn't expecting you to pass it back. I was hoping you'd take a swing at it.
Yeah, I think Greg just looked at that, nodded his head as if to say, yep, I don't blame you, John. I'd do the same. Well, you put it there, Greg. You deal with it.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to get it done.
Now there is an obvious safety.
I mean, John might even take a swing at this. Cut this ball in the side, come 3 rails around for the 3 in the corner. He isn't. He's playing something else.
Yeah, he's coming down here with a cue ball, I think. Wow. Well, look at this. Oh,
It didn't line up perfect, but it's awfully tempting.
yeah, well, the 3 doesn't go, I don't think, so
I don't think so either.
decisions. Combo, not easy.
Yeah, I think you got to go with this.
How many times would you make this? 1 out of 5? 2 out of 5?
I think I could make it at least 2 out of 5, yeah. I don't know that I'm even money. Maybe 3 out of 5. Definitely no higher than that.
Yeah, not easy, but played it in such a way. But that's often the case when you're playing a combo. You generally have a little bit of safety in your mind as well, so you don't go wholeheartedly for it, which is, you know, maybe why we don't make so many. No, he's gone all out for the bank there. And this has gone very wrong. So it's paid off for John Mora.
Wow, someone's having a good time.
I was going to say, they're not listening to my commentary, are they? Oh dear, whatever has he played there? Yeah, and bit of anger there from John Mora.
Yeah, we
Carbon
saw.
fibre, standing the test. Won't break that.
Yeah, we saw John smack his cue on the table when he scratched in the side a couple games ago. Smacking his cue on the table again when he missed that. So, John, frustration might be mounting a little. Especially if Greg runs these out.
Yeah, 3-rack lead at this stage of the match is it's a big lead, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, Fargo might even concede that he might even have a 50% chance to win at that point.
I think he can just roll this 5 ball in, move himself a shot onto the 6, probably. Oh, he's even drawing back, look. Must have a nice little angle, yeah, perfectly played. Worrying times for John Mora then.
Yeah, in case it wasn't clear, I'm not agreeing with the Fargo chance to win percentage. I think that's a little out of line. I think Greg is definitely a lot better to win here than the 37%.
Well, yeah, that's okay. Decent angle on this 7. Oh, slow up, slow up.
It
It's
is.
okay.
Table 25, Brady Bearman and Billy Thorpe. Billy Thorpe, Brady Bearman, table 25.
Torpedo in action. And as you saw, was on the table next to Greg's there, waiting for another table to play their shot. Tables are so close at Derby City. Over 600 players, I believe, at this year's Classic. So this straightforward 9 then for a 3-rack lead in a race to 9. 6-3.
And that is huge.
No better time to pull away in a match than in the second half of it. He's 2/3 the way there now. The man from Tulsa. He's even doing his little side step when he's setting them up. Look, Kevin, you notice that?
I was watching, is that Roberto on the upper right table there? I was watching a different table while he was racking.
Yes, it is Roberto Gomez. Superman. Back to Spanky. About to spank the balls. Dry break, the first one, I think, for Greg Hogue.
And just at the last second, all the balls parted and left a path to the 1 ball. Usually it's at the last second everything runs in the way. Here, at the last second, everything got out of the way.
Players, if you're signed up for the 9-ball mini tournament tonight, it's 32 players. It is full, but I'm going to do the players meeting over here right now in about 10 minutes, right around 1 o'clock. If you want to hear it, come over to the side of the director's desk. In about 10 minutes, we're going to do the 9-ball mini players meeting. We may not be able to start it for another 30 minutes or so as they give us tables. You'll just have to hang around and listen for your assignment. That's the nature of the beast.
Table 10, Michael DeLauder and Abram Sean. Abram Sean and Michael
All right,
DeLauder.
navigated his way around there nicely. Good look at the 2. Still not out of the woods. That 3 is kind of tight position to get in there. He may even drop down below it to shoot the 3 up table. Hard to say.
He's got the angle to get there if he wants. He could leave it centre-ish table if he's got the angle to draw back.
Yeah, right next to the
Coming
6
round
ball
to look
there.
at your shot. Yeah, he's looking at your shot now.
Yeah, if you can get the cue ball like right next to the 6 ball, I think that would be ideal. But if he doesn't feel comfortable with his control, he can come down table here where he has a much bigger target.
Well, a little bit short, but it's okay.
I think this is okay because he needs to get this cue ball over to that left side of the table anyway for a shot on the 4 next.
Nicely done. Good control. Pocket speed. Perfect. And this 4 ball, probably draw back off the side route. Leave the 5 into the same pocket.
Yeah, Mr. Smooth showing why he has that nickname.
He's very calm character normally as well. The game frustrates us all from time to time, doesn't it? And we've seen a couple of moments in this match where John scratched in the side, banged his cue on the table, and then missed that 3 in the side, which you'd have thought was almost unmissable, to be honest. And we're all human, but you have to try and control that. Don't give your opponent any advantage of letting them see you angry.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Well, there was a commercial. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the tagline of it was "Never let them see you sweat."
Yeah, good motto. Nicely on the 8, just a stop shot.
Just like
you
that.
saw that. Yeah, beautiful slow backswing, wasn't it? A little pause and then through with the cue. Perfect technique, Mr. Mora.
Yep, gets one back. 6-4. Race to 9. I'm trying to figure out who that is that Margarita's playing over on the next table.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question when they were racking in the last one.
Yeah, there aren't very many women playing in this tournament, so when you get 2 of them playing each other, that's kind of unusual.
Maybe she's a local lady. I can't remember seeing her on the tour. I thought it, when I first saw her, I thought it was another Canadian player who I actually played when I was in Corner Bank in Toronto. A girl called Leanne. But I don't think that is her. I could be wrong. You know what my eyes are like, Kevin.
Well, there is nobody named Leanne entered in this tournament, so I don't think it's her.
No, I don't think it's her either.
All right, John Mora with the break.
Oh,
4 ball.
Horrible little kiss.
All right, well, he's made a ball. He can see the 1.
What more can you ask for?
I don't know, some really picky, demanding people might actually want a shot at the 1 to a pocket.
That's just greed.
All right, so safety. Got a bunch of balls you can hide behind.
I think he can just thinning off the left side of it, is he?
Yeah, he's loading up with a bunch of left spin, it looks like. Is he going to get below him? Is he going to get under him? No, he is not.
He caught that much too thick.
Yes, he did.
And when you said he was putting all that left-hand English on, that of course pushes the cue ball over to the right, which is why he's misjudged the angle there and caught the 1 ball too thick and left Greg Hogue the chance to reopen the 3-rack lead again. get into Greg Hogue's head at the moment, I would be telling him, stay down on the shot, Greg. It's something we all know. It's so important, but it's one of the easiest things to forget when you're playing in a high pressure situation. You get anxious, you want to jump up and see the result of your shot.
Yeah, you got to make you got to make sure you made it. You got to jump up and see.
The great Steve Davis also played Moscone for Europe, of course, as well as 6-time snooker world champion. He used to exaggerate it. He used to imagine he was down for a photograph to be taken for the cover of a snooker magazine. There you go. There's a good analogy of it. Imagine you're posing for a photo after the shot.
All right, looks like Greg is taking care of the difficult bits. Now it's just a matter of staying in line.
Little grimace, a little bit short of pace. Nod of the head.
Yeah, looks like you have to just draw straight back, short side of the 8, shoot the 8 to the bottom right corner.
Yeah,
That's
nicely
perfect.
done. What a lead this will be. 3 up and needing just 2 more for a place in the next round. John Mora, of course, still has a buyback, I believe you said.
Yes, John Mora has 1 buyback remaining. Oh, no.
Oh, dear,
and
oh, dear.
Greg has 0 buybacks remaining. And he's not even going to make him shoot it. Wow. So, to answer your question...
Yeah,
that is-
sorry, go on.
To answer your question, that is Emily Sumrall on the next table.
Not a name I'm familiar with, to be honest. She's up against one of the up-and-coming ladies, I think it's fair to call her. Margaret Fefalova-Steyer.
Yeah, Margarita. Is it Margarita or Margaret?
Well, it depends. She answers to either.
And Margarita made it 7 rounds in the 9-ball. So that's pretty good. Losing only to Levan Corteza and Jesus Atencio. No shame in losing to either of those 2 players.
Yeah, good player she is, from Belarus. Her mum and dad run an academy there, I believe from Minsk.
Ooh, I think that cue ball was on its way to the side pocket until it got kicked out.
Yeah, talk about shots that change matches. That 9-ball that Greg Hogue
Oh, that was
just missed
huge.
with, that will haunt him. I mean, he's out of this. If he loses this match, he's out of the tournament. Already used his buyback, of course.
And you know the rule in 9-ball. If you, miss an easy shot on the 9 or something like that, the player, they almost always either make the 9 on the break the next game or they break and run out the next game. And look at this break. Look at this position on the 1.
Yeah, it's always the question, how many racks will it cost you?
It's looking like it's
like
going to cost at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. It's going to bounce for a nice little angle.
Yeah, and of course, when you see your opponent miss, and it was a straight in 9, wasn't it, into the side? I mean, let's be honest about it, you know. When you see your opponent missing balls like that, it gives you an extra little boost of confidence as well.
Absolutely. Puts a little extra pep in your step.
Oh, it's not the greatest shot he's ever played.
No, but if he makes this 4-ball, he should have pretty much automatic position on the 5. Not much to do here. Just have to put 95% of your focus into making this 4. Oh, I thought he was going to follow it up a little bit for the 5 in the corner. Well, this works just fine. Maybe even better than what I was thinking.
Just a little soft draw off of this. Oh, he's actually going through, is he?
Yeah, it's hard to tell the exact angle. Like, how much angle does he need on this 6?
Oh, that's fine, yeah.
And that looks perfect.
I know you're used to seeing lots of different camera angles, overheads and third cameras and stuff like that on railbirds, but on this particular table for this particular match, we've only got room to set up the one camera.
Yeah, I like having lots of cameras, so I feel like my hands are tied when I can only put up one camera.
Your fingers must be itching. You're normally pressing buttons and doing replays and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Perfect. It's cost him 2 racks so far and counting, because John Mora will be breaking in the next one. And now it's anybody's.
Yeah, that 9 on the side is gonna haunt Greg if he loses this match.
You might just have heard in the background there Elliot Sanderson being introduced. Played Scotch doubles with Jason Shaw in last year's World Cup of Pool, and Elliot Sanderson is actually the manager of Jason Shaw's sister's pool room there in Glasgow called McGoldrick's.
It's a small world.
You might have heard the scream there as Elliot Sanderson's name was mentioned, and his nickname is the Screamer. tends to be, shall we say, slightly over exuberant when he wins in the lower round, shall we say. But a great guy, very good coach.
Very
really nice
very
guy
passionate.
as well. Very passionate, yeah.
Come over to the desk right now.
Yeah, and there you notice John takes his glove off for the break. He'll go and put the glove back on, and he'll put the glove on his right hand.
Does he have a shot at this one? Can he see enough of it to play this 1-6 combination?
Yeah, As Tim de Ruyter would say, it's tight. It's very tight.
It is very tight. If jump cues were allowed, it'd be no problem. Or not a lot of a problem. It'd be a problem for me, but not for players of this caliber.
I think he can get through to this because he's eyeing up the angle of the combo, so he's going
Okay.
for this.
Okay.
Crucial shot. Lost the cue ball slightly, but it shouldn't be a problem. Get the extension on the back of that cue.
Yeah, 3 to the 4 to the 5. Yeah, once you get past that, it should be pretty clear sailing. And that looks pretty good to me. He's going to have a nice line on to get to this 4. 2 rails around, 5 in the same pocket as the 4.
Although John is from Canada, from Toronto, does spend a lot of time in Las Vegas as well. Plays a lot of pool at Griff's.
Yeah,
Not
Griff's is a
Griffin,
great
of
place.
course.
Yeah, Griff's is
Yeah,
a great
it's just-
place. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that unfortunately this year we lost Mark
Yeah.
Griffin.
Yep. A little bit of an awkward angle on this 5 to get to the 7. Alright, he's just going to have to take a slightly more difficult shot on the 7 to the side. I don't know, is he just going to cinch this and play for the short side on the 8, for the 8 up table? Or is he going to try to put some left spin on this?
There's
make
the
t-
screamer, look. Left. Elliot Sanderson on the left there, look.
Oh,
the
is that him?
screamer.
That's
That's
him?
him. Yeah.
So there's the answer to my question, is just cinching that 7, just going to play for a short side of the 8. Not doing anything too out of the ordinary there. Not taking any chances.
Beautifully played. Well judged.
Yeah, nice speed.
It's cost him 3 racks so far, that missed in the side by Greg Hogue. Now John Mora leads, and he hasn't done that since, I think it might even have been this 3rd rack or something like that.
Yeah. It was way back at the beginning when John Mora had to lead, if he had to lead. Did he ever have the lead?
Maybe not. But what a time to lead. Yeah, both players gone for a little break.
Kind of looks that way. So, all right, players are on break. We'll be right back. All right, players are back from break. Like you say, 3 games and counting.
Yeah, and this one breaking to get on the hill, and all of a sudden the wheels have fallen off for Greg Hogue. Looked in control at, you know, three rack lead, didn't he have at one stage?
Yeah, and that 9 ball would have given him a 4-game lead.
Well, the gloves are literally off.
All right, he's made a ball. And no shot at the 1. I think that's going to be the end of John's run. Unless he wants to try to kick this in, but I don't see that happening.
He's going to have to play a push, maybe to the right-hand side rail. Maybe just to this back rail by that diamond to give him a little smidge of the 1 ball. I like going to the right-hand side rail here, though. So he'll probably go another way. I'm not the best pusher in the world.
It just seems like if you put it anywhere on that right side rail, it just seems like it'll be too easy to play safe off of.
Maybe push to the 2 rail kick.
All right, what are you doing, John?
He's
You tying
tying up a
stuff up?
ball here, I think. Yeah. Smart shot.
Well, he's left a 1 rail kick, I think.
I think he's left a little edge of this, you know, even. Well, I don't think Greg even wants to have a look. He's saying, have it.
Yeah, I don't think he even came to the table to look. I think he told him to shoot from his chair, I think.
Oh, don't scratch. He's okay. And if that 1 doesn't pass the 8, he's had a good result here.
I think it might have a path. So going to land behind the 2. It has. Ooh, did it line up? Did the 1-2 line up dead to the corner? Can he kick this in?
A lot of movement on that shot from Greg Hogue as he played that straight in 1 ball.
John's definitely looking at that 1-2 combo. Yeah, he's playing it. He did make it, but he didn't give up a whole lot. You know, that 2 is a little bit tricky to play position on. That 4 ball still tied up. So Greg has definitely got some work to do here.
Difficult little table. Waiting for Margaret on the next table to play her shot. Gentleman Greg, there you go.
That's a much nicer nickname. I like that one.
Yeah. Wonder how he got the name Spanky.
That sounds like a childhood nickname type of thing.
Just don't Google that.
I think he's hooked himself.
I think he's got a bit of it, Kevin. I think he might even make this, you know. I think bending it round a little bit. Oh, no, he couldn't make it, but could definitely hit it.
Well, he got a safe out of it.
Yeah, decent shot. So, John rail first. Doesn't really want to make it because won't have a shot on the 4. Love to hit it kind of fullish and send, you know, get some separation between the cue ball and the 3.
Table 13, David Grossman and Sergio Rivas. Sergio and David, table 13.
Oh dear, went for separation, opened up the 4 and the 5 and scratched to boot as well.
That is really
So
worst
that-
case scenario.
It couldn't have gone worse, could it, Kevin, that
Unless
shot?
unless it lined up a 3-9 combo. That's the only way that could have gone worse.
Four ball still a little bit tricky. If only you could play it now. You can't do that, Greg. You've got to take the 3 ball first.
He's looking to playing for the 4 in the side. I think the easier shot is the 4 to that bottom left corner. Just come right up behind that 4, don't you think?
Yeah, go short side between the 4 and the rail. Just by that 3rd diamond up there.
Oh, but you got to hit the ball, Greg.
Yeah, well, looking to see if it passes in the side now. If it doesn't, the cue ball's going to be running into the 5. If it decides to cut it, it's a very thin one. You can still play safe, of course. Just leave the cue ball behind the 5. Could even potentially play the bank in the side on the 4. Stun into the 7 with the cue ball. And if you miss the 4, maybe get a hook behind the 5. If you make it, you're on the 5.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I think that might be the way to go. Looks like he's cutting it to the corner. Is that 5 going to sit up for a shot? I think so. I think this is cuttable.
Thin one. Watch the cue ball. It's fine. Trouble though when you're cutting the cue ball, when you're cutting the object ball so thin, sorry, very, very hard to control the rock, as you Americans call it.
Fortunately, he's not dead straight. He has a little bit of angle. He can follow to the rail and back up. Well, he's really he's got the adrenaline pumping, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's overhitting at the moment. Sign of tension in the right arm. The adrenaline, as you say, is pumping.
Oh, that was a nice shot.
Yeah, this is a good recovery by Greg. This has not been an easy out. Now then, 100% concentration making this 9 ball, Greg.
Nicely done. Back in the driver's seat. 7-7.
He jumped from 12% up to 27%. He was up as high as 51%, I think, at one stage, wasn't he? And he was 3 racks up.
Yeah, Froggerate at one point conceded that he might actually have a chance to win, but Froggerate took it back. I don't know. With only 2 games, you only need 2 games and you're breaking. I think I like Greg better than 27%.
Yeah, especially breaking. His last one was dry though. Might see him put just a little bit more into this break. He's doing the hokey pokey again. The hokey strokey.
Dry break.
And
Dry
a shot
break.
on the one. Look at this. Oh.
On a wide open layout, the 4-ball does pass straight in on the 1. 2, 3 are right there. The 4 goes to the corner.
Yeah, 5 to the opposite corner. And then all his work is down this end. Once he's on the 4, the cue ball doesn't have to move very much at all, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Minimum travel for the cue ball. Series of little stop shots, a few little draws. Huge chance to get on the hill here for John Mora. That break could prove massive.
Yeah, and everything leads to the next ball perfectly. The 1 leads to the 2, the 2 leads to the 3 right there, 3 to the 4. Just one ball leads to the next. The 5, 6, and 7 is the only place where that doesn't 100% hold true, but by that point, most of the balls are gone by then. So you have a lot more freedom of movement.
Nicely played. Maybe a touch too far. Would have liked to have been a little bit straighter on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a narrow window between that 9-8, and because he's kind of flat on this 4, you kind of have to kind of power this, and when you're powering it, it's hard to be very precise with your position, which is why he didn't even try. He just decided to come all the way across where he has a nice big target. It's a nice choice.
Yeah, very, very well played, that shot. Didn't take any risks, as you say. That gap was very, very small between 8 and 9. So why take a risk?
Yeah, I really like that decision.
About 18 inches to play with, playing it this way. Oh. No, he's okay, but you don't want to be nudging balls when you're not meaning to. He's
Not if you
switching
can help
off
it.
He's switching it.
All right, I've got 7 tables for the mini tournament. If you all listen up, they're going to be upstairs.
The smooth switcher.
So smooth.
Braden McCoy, Keith Young on table
So 8 and the 9 to get on the hill. I have to use a rail, probably play the 9 into the same pocket as the 8.
Table 28. Gullett and Poland, table 28.
Just like that. Just when you thought Greg was in the driver's seat, John is the first one to the hill. 8-7, race to 9.
Table 33.
We've been talking a lot about nicknames and
Table 33.
Yeah.
players' nicknames and how applicable they are to certain players. You also mentioned that there's a few lady players in this event. Christina's Latava is another one of them. She doesn't have a nickname, although they want to call her the Golden Girl because Latava actually means gold in Bulgarian. But there's another great player from South Korea called Seo Soa, and she recently won the Las Vegas Women's Open. She beat Silviana Liu from Indonesia in the final, and she didn't have a nickname, Seo Soa, and I've been suggesting a few nicknames for players, and I might just have given her nickname. Silky Smooth Seo Soa. That's what I've suggested for her. And her manager seems to like it. Does that give me any rights to any prize money she might win in future?
I think you should get a piece of any of the profits she makes because of that nickname.
Oh, look. Is it dry?
That looks pretty darn dry to me. All right. Well, he's got to look at the one. Thin cut if he wants to try to take it on.
Oh, it's one of those, isn't it?
It's one of those.
Do you? Don't you?
I mean, I wouldn't want to be taking a swing at this if my opponent is John Mora and he's on the hill. I'd be looking to duck, but you know, I'm not the one at the table.
Yeah, but he's played a shocker there. He's got the double kiss. All of a sudden, great chance for John Mora to close this match out. Don't forget, he was 3 racks behind at 6-3. Greg Hogue then missed that straightforward 9 into the side. It's pretty much since then it's been all John Mora.
Yeah, Greg missed that
Lost
9.
in
John
3 racks.
won that game, and then he broke and ran the next 2 games after that. So what do we think? Bank at the 1, try to stick behind the 8. That 7 ball might make that pocket a little bit bigger. Can't tell how far out of the pocket that 7 is. Judging by the shadow
Just
on the
waiting.
table, I think that 7 might be a little far out of the pocket to actually help the 1.
I think he's cutting at this. He wants
Surely you
to.
can't be serious.
I am, and stop calling me Shirley.
I think he's cutting at this.
Yeah. Into the 10. Sorry, 10. Into the 9. What a great shot, but look where the cue ball's gone. Well, he's okay. Come past the 6. Now we'll play the 2-7 combo, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to shoot at this 7 ball. I would definitely rather shoot at the 7 than try to bank the 2. I know that. I mean, you could try to play the safety, but I'd rather shoot at the 2-7 than try to come up with the safety here.
Kyle Arendorf, Gwyn Olski, on table 28.
Could still play safe, of course, as well. That's another option.
Yeah, he's lining up this 2-7. Oh, I thought he was going to get a shot. Almost had a shot. All right, plan B, play safe. Thin off the 2, cue ball down table.
This match still not over.
Absolutely not. We're about to get into a safety battle, I think.
A wall of 4 balls, more or less, to hide behind. Get the cue ball down here, somewhere near that 4 ball.
Nice
Got
touch.
behind the 3. Yeah, very well played that. Against it now, Greg Hogue. 2 rails. Might fluke the 9 here.
You
Might
got it
fluke the
moving.
9. Oh.
You got it moving.
One of those that gets the heart racing very quickly, that one.
Yeah. But this does leave John a shot at the 2. Open layout, his biggest problem is the 2 to the 3. Once he gets past the 3, it should be pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, you can draw to the side rail back over for the 3 into the same pocket, I think. Oh, he comes short side, has he?
Is he going to get past the 6?
Whoa.
Just.
Oof. These side pockets can be a little bit unforgiving, as Greg Hogue can attest to. That 9 he missed earlier on
Yeah,
John.
exactly.
certainly didn't hit that as sweetly as he wanted to, and it's made him out of position here. He just played the 3 into the wrong side of the pocket. Still expecting to make it, just means the cue ball's got to travel in between traffic. It's not rush hour, but it's a bit of traffic.
He either has to jack up and try to draw into the 6 or level out and go round table.
I think he needs to get past that 8 ball is where he's worried about.
Oh, he put some right spin on that to shorten it off that end rail, and that's going to cost him.
Must admit, I'm surprised he played with that English. I thought he was going to come all the way round. I said, worried about the 8 ball. It was actually the 9 ball. Wow, what drama. Is there another twist?
Oh, he's going to the side rail. I thought he would kick one rail straight between the 6-9, try to kick the 5 to the end rail, you know, hit and stick, try to hook him behind the 9 or hook him behind the 6. He's going side rail, 2 rails. I don't know, with that speed, going 2 rails at that speed seems like it was going to be really hard to get a safety out of it. That really surprised me.
Yeah, and no more surprised than Greg Hogue will be that he played it that way as well, because it's given him a decent chance now to go heel. Really is a roller coaster ride, this one. Ups and downs, twists and turns.
This match has had it all. Oh no!
Oh, well, plain to see what happened there. Put in a very, very quick stroke there. Light snatch. Hasn't left anything easy though. I think it's going to be a safety.
No, I'd be very surprised if he plays safe here. He's going to slice this in, go up and down table.
This really is all or nothing.
Mike Stumbler, you are on the clock.
Maybe hit it sweet. Maybe a little light.
Mike Stumbler is on the clock.
Got a little bit of an angle though, which helps. Hasn't got to do too much, just cue this in with that beautiful smooth cue action that he's got. Yeah, just waiting for Elliot Sanderson on the next table to take his shot on any distractions. Well, didn't play it perfectly.
It's not the dead simple straight in 9 ball you want for the match. But it'll do. John Mora putting it away. Wow, what a match that was. That had drama. I don't know. Anytime you can go 9-7 with somebody who's 100 Fargo points, above you, I think you're doing something. And Greg, he had a chance to win this match. He was this close. He was this close to winning this match.
He was, and he had that 3-rack lead, chance to go 4 racks into the lead, and then
breaking.
Missed that, and breaking, to go. No, that 9 he missed in the side just shows you. First 8 balls mean nothing. It's all about that 9 ball, and if you miss that, that's what happens.
Right, you are. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you had fun watching this match. We have plenty more Derby City action for you on our channel, so be sure you are subscribed and make sure you have notifications enabled so you don't miss a single match. Anyway, I'm Kevin Ross along with Mark White. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one.